Hey y'all, how's it going? This is Seth. This is Lab 3 for HiFi 333 or motor control. What we've got here is our data. We have force in the from the trial 1 through 6, EMG and volts from trial 1 through 6, and then the bilateral trial. So we've got our unilateral force, left and right EMG, and then bilateral left and right force, left and right EMG. Okay, there should be a total of 16 trials. And what I'm going to do in this video is show you how to make the graph that we need for, or the first graph. And then in the next video, I'll introduce you to some simple calculations in Excel and graphing the last two bar graphs that we need. Okay, so first things first. So we want to select our data, and I just want to select all of the numeric values, okay? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a scatter plot. Now this looks pretty good. So we've got force here on the bottom, and that makes sense. So as long as force is on the left side, EMG is on the right side, this is going to put force on the x-axis and EMG on the y-axis. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the chart title. Okay, and so there are a couple ways to do that. I can right click and delete, or I could select it and then just hit delete. And just hit delete or select it and then click on delete. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is then I'm going to go and get rid of these grid lines. So I'm going to delete with the little, as long as I've got the little blue indicators on top, I can delete that. And then I can delete that. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a chart element, and that's going to be my axes titles. Okay. So they're going to look something like this. And so that's add chart element, axes title, primary horizontal, primary vertical. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the font size of these guys because the default Excel font size is I don't like it. It doesn't pop enough, and sometimes it can be difficult on your laboratory assignments for us to read those. And also when you're thinking about presentations, you don't want to just go with whatever Excel gives you because you can always make it just a little bit better. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to take force in newtons, okay, and then I'm going to do EMG in volts, make that a capital V. Okay, so I'm almost there. I almost have everything I need for this graph. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on these points. And then I'm going to, whoop, if it'll let me. There we go. So I can click on the points. If I click on it enough, it'll let me format any of those data points, which isn't quite what I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, and then I'm going to format the data series. Okay. So what this is going to do is I can go over here, and I can go plot series on. I can change the what these look like, so I can add a shadow to these, but we don't actually want to do that. What I want to do is I want to go through here and look at the markers. So I want to change the marker width, and I'll change the color as well just to show you how to do this. I know I do it in later videos. That's border, so I want fill. There we go. And then I can change the transparency, okay? And on the border, I can change that as well, but I want to go to marker options, and I can go to, then I can change that to built-in. So what I did, markers, marker options, built-in, and then I can change these. So I can change it to a square, I can change it to a dash if I wanted to, but I'm going to keep it as a circle, and I'm going to change the marker size. Okay, there we go. So now it's very clear on this where each marker is, and it's just easy to see. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the markers again, and then I'm going to add a trend line. Okay, so it's going to look like that, and I can click here. I want to display the equation on the chart, and I want to display the r squared value, because in the end the equation doesn't matter all that much. It's the R-squared value that's going to provide us our statistical or like any statistical feedback. How good of a fit is this along this linear regression? Okay. And so then what I'm going to do here is for formatting the trend line, I'm going to go, I don't think it's fill. Crap, I'm drawing a blank here. That's not good. But either way, we can there we go. We can make this width bigger. Okay, so under trend line, under the line. So I think I was under something else. So let's go back and find that real quick. This is a good learning for everybody. So I can go trend line options, and then I can go line. Okay, and then I can change that to be, I don't want it to be bigger than my markers, so we're just gonna call it 4 point. Okay, so now it's really visible. It's crystal clear what is going on. And I'm just gonna increase the font size of that a little bit too. Okay, so all of this data, it pops and it makes sense. So you see, I contrasted these colors here, red and blue. But you could change this color as well to maybe be black, or any other color you want. Okay, just as long as the patterns are that you want to show are readily visible. That's extremely important when you're putting together these figures and presenting your data. Okay, so that'll do it for this video. In the next video, we're going to do some calculations, some averages and standard deviations, and then I'll show you how to make these bar graphs as well. All right, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.